I was thinking if I can write anything I want and someone's gonna magically buy it, what do I want to see? And my first thought was a Latina superhero. If I have 5, they're gonna be a team. And so it just developed like that. It is the first Latina team in comic book history, which is great, but we had comics since 1939. And we haven't had a Latina team. And like society in general, it's just like, why don't we have our equality? Why don't we have literally any representation? Why don't we have anything? The older generations are like, I wish I had this growing up. Of course, they'll get it and they'll give it to their niece or their daughter or whomever, their son. It's nice that like, at least it's changing the generational things that we don't get to see in media. It's beneficial that I self-publish because I can choose my artists. They're all Latina artists as well. You know, it's the authentic thing. They get it. And I don't need to explain they're females, they're Latinos. Like, we all understand the reasoning behind it. My first one was Jalisco. She dances a traditional dance, which is folklórico. And the blades come out of her dress, so she can deflect bullets when she's doing like olas, or she goes like that and they shoot out. She takes on the femicide in Mexico. Her mom gets stolen, so she wants to save her mom. Second one is Santa, my Texan girl, my Tejana. She has divine strength and deja vu. She goes against a candidate going for mayor called Ice, and that's Illiana Chavez Estevez, but I personified her as Ice. Next one is Ruca. It's my East LA Chicana. That is where I'm from. That is what I am, is Chicana as well. She sees the kids in the neighborhood are being stolen, so she tracks them down in Barrio Logan in San Diego. The next one is Loquita. That is my Puerto Rican Cuban from Miami. She's my supernatural teen detective. She fights demons while she goes to high school. Loquita takes on gun control within the schools and teen suicide. And the last one is my Dominican gunslinger from New York, Bandita. And she can ricochet bullets off walls, and Bandita takes on domestic violence. Generally, we always see superheroes that they always save cities, right? Like Batman saves Gotham, Superman will always save Metropolis, but nobody wants to ever save a girl unless it's the girlfriend, right? Unless you're Mary Jane or Lois Lane. Otherwise, who saves girls? And the answer is nobody, not in media and not in real life, which is unfortunate. And so my characters, they're different in that aspect. They take on social injustices that are primarily focused on females. At least they can shine light on it and also bring justice to the girls that aren't being saved. A La Brava is the name of the team. A La Brava is slang. I learned it from boxing. If you go A La Brava, you have 2 boxers that they're going all out until somebody falls. And I think that reflects being a woman, being a marginalized woman in particular in society. You believe in this land of very patriarchal oppression. You have to go all out because you do have to fight. You know, if you don't fight, you're just going to fall regardless. That pretty much encapsulates what my superheroes do. The princesses are a lot of fun. They're so much lighter and they're all ages. And I made them modern day princesses in that there's no prince to save them, but they go on adventures. They don't fight, but they are very strategic. They have their little animal next to them that's talking to them. They're the only ones that can talk to animals. Very Calvin and Hobbes. Their animal friends are amazing. I did this very purposely. I made them all female. Mashika is my Aztec princess. She has a pet axolotl, that's an axolotl. Next one is Novi, she's my space princess, and so she has a nebula horse called Huckleberry. Next one is Allura, that is my witch princess. Next one is Macabre, and she's my death princess, with her big pet crow called Sable. And the last one is Swan, and she's my water princess. She has a pet seal. It's actually a stuffed animal, but to her it's a real seal. Those are the 5, and they meet at the Princess Academia, which is the 6th book, which comes out in January. They become the Majestics, so whatever's in their eye is their magic powers. They all start disappearing one by one, and at the Princess Academia, it's kind of like a curse. If you go, you're not going to survive. And so they have to figure out how they're going to survive and break the spell. There are aspects of me in all of them, particularly the superheroes more so than the princesses. My grandma's de Jalisco. My mom danced folklórico. The Adelita is called Adela, and that's literally my grandma's name. And then the last one is Ruca, which is my East LA Chicana, which is where I'm from, Boyle Heights. And everyone used to say, you know, you're a chola because you're from East LA. And I was just like, I look the furthest from a chola if you look at me. But you say it as an insult, so I don't see them as an insult. I think cholas and cholas are cool, like they're my friends. Like, you know, and they've always been really cool to me. And so it's like, here's a 90s chola, she wears her Cortezes. Here's your stereotype that you think is such an insult, but she's actually a superhero. The next one that comes out, I got hired to write, is called Lipstick Clica. And it's very much like The Warriors, but more demented and vampire-ish. It's a 3 comic book series, and it's actually got slated by Sony to be made into a feature as well. I'm a storyteller, and storytelling reflects democracy. So if you read about it and you're like, oh, I can be a superhero, I can be a princess, I can be something more than a maid or anything else, then great, you can. Go and do it, right? You change your mind instantly. You change your perspective. You change the way that you think. Go to Stanford, go to Harvard. Maybe in the book it says you can't, so maybe that puts it in your mind and it changes your course. If everybody did that, like, of course it changes everyone's mentality. You grow up thinking, I can do this, and that's very powerful.